PBnJ Podcast.
Scrum
Diddly Dumptious. We have an interesting show coming out today. In that we are really, really, really just interesting people, and we're hoping that you're going to notice.
So what he means by that is we got a whole bunch of stuff to talk about right now.
We didn't show up and be like, hey, do we have stuff? And then we're like, yeah, probably.
Well, we do.
Winging it, bro.
We have something really cool planned. But I fucked up, so my fault. And so we'll do it next week. I think that you guys will really like it, or at least think it's funny or ironic or whatever. But and then we're like, well, what are we going to talk about today, guys? And Jordan or Bryce, I'm not sure which one of them, or maybe both. They were like, it'll be fine. So here we are, episode 46. If you're watching the video,
and 47 if you actually pay attention to continuity.
46 on YouTube, but really 47.
Yeah, surprisingly, we have 2 episode 46s on YouTube. So good luck figuring out which one's which.
Patrick are good at maths.
Yeah, I am are good at maths.
It are go good on pizza.
It does it are go good on pizza.
But yeah, so I this week I fixed my car finally after
what was wrong with it? I forgot to ask you.
Oh, my battery died and I was just too lazy to jump in.
Oh, you motherfucker. Oh my god.
So hold the fuck on.
Yeah.
Let's
I've gone without a car for 3 weeks.
We have a fun-filled fact show for you today, but we're just going to take a pause with this whole time you've been telling us your car has not been working. Oh, my car's broken.
Can't go anywhere. I'm stuck in this house.
Yeah.
Needed a fucking jump.
Battery is dead.
Yeah. I mean, my battery was dead because it needed a jump.
How much did you buy a battery yet?
No. It wasn't dead like that. It was dead in that it had no juice.
Jesus Christ.
Once we jumped it, it's fine. It's been working perfect. And actually, I figured out what was causing it to cut out randomly because my car, for one reason or another, would randomly shut off while driving and then come back on. That was scary, especially because I was about to, when I'm right by the
sensor of some kind.
No, actually, it ends up the cable to my battery was super loose. So every now and then it would just kind of pop off the connector and then I would lose all power. And then it would just settle itself back down and then everything would come back on.
But that shouldn't matter because your alternator runs your car when your car's on, not your battery.
I guess that's true. Well, it hasn't been having any problems.
Not to shit on we fixed Bryce's car. I did, but
you're right. I forgot about that.
I apologize.
So maybe it's not fixed, but it's been running perfectly. So
if it is, it's fine.
Yeah, and my roommate was finally like, "We need
somebody else who's a mechanic that listens to our show." Because I know you guys listen. You almost said hi, but whatever. Bryce told me not to talk about it.
Oh my god!
Let us know what might be wrong with Bryce's van.
Yeah, give us free advice, and then tell me where your shop is, and I'll show up. Yeah, essentially, I mean, if possible, I'm not gonna lowball you.
He'll give you an autograph of each of us.
Yeah. Worth exactly
real ink, not printed.
Yeah, we're not just going to print our autograph. We're real. We're OGs. So just keep that in mind. But yeah, so finally got the car fixed. Really cool. Been driving around and feels nice to have freedom again. Mainly been using it to fund my energy drink addiction, which I was doing great about cutting back on. But now that I can go to the 7-Eleven whenever I want, holy shit. I'm popping 2 a day, sometimes cutting into 3. It's getting pretty my heart rate's like, hey buddy, you okay? And I'm like, yeah, man.
That's how I was, and I've actually been cutting back. I'm down to
Didn't you just take a sip of an energy drink?
Yeah, I'm down to 2 a week. I used to be 2 a day.
That's one of the 2, bro.
That's now 2 a week and only on the weekends.
That's cool. I like that.
How many White Claws have you drank this week?
Fucking none, dude. I haven't had any in
Look how mad he is.
Yeah, that's the real addiction right there. It's just you just want some fucking White Claws in this house.
None.
House is a prison on planet bullshit.
I did have some hard root beers
Oh,
I
okay.
have 3 left, but I got them like 2 weeks ago. Just a 6-pack. I'm trying to cut back on that too.
Okay.
But yeah, White Claw. It's been like 3 weeks, almost a month.
Damn, man.
I fucking hate it.
You
Well,
sound
I've
so
been-
angry today.
No, legit, like full blown pissed.
Yeah.
What
I am
I'm
pissed
trying to
about a
do
lot of
now
things.
is I bought some energy Mio.
Oh.
I'm gonna use that as like a
Ah.
supplement to, and I've been drinking my tea, which is also caffeinated because it's black tea, so I'm probably gonna die soon. But I'm gonna try and drink more tea and less energy drink, and hopefully it balances out. But yeah, other than that, I'm trying to think. I feel like there was something I did this week, but I cannot remember what it is now that I'm on the spot. So I'm gonna pass the torch. I'm gonna ask you, Patrick, what you did while I think about the random thing that actually mattered that I don't
Oh
remember now.
man. Well, you know, it's so funny, right, that you ask. Because I gotta say, fucking weekends
Mhm.
fully overrated.
Yep.
Oh yeah,
No,
Yeah,
for
100%.
real.
Yep.
You know what? I'm not down and on that I get to see my wife, my kids. We get to hang out on the weekends. Been doing Disney, right? Disney
yeah,
World.
that's all cool. Disney World.
You know. However, you always end up having to fucking do something, and it's annoying. So
Oh yeah.
Yep.
So as everybody knows, my PC was shitting out on me. I finally got some parts.
That's why we can have a live show today.
Yeah,
You're well.
that's actually. Hey, I don't know. You know what? We skipped right over that shit.
Yeah.
Patrick fixed his computer. Whoop whoop.
Not his webcam though, but that's fine.
No. I'll buy another webcam. Fuck. Anyway, so I was up, 2:30, 3 o'clock last night because, I tried to spend some time on the wires, even though it's useless because they're all super stupid and short. And I can't hide them behind anything because they don't fucking reach.
Yeah.
Because #life. That I had to get up this morning early as fuck, go to my sister's house. I love her. It's awesome. Whatever. Sisters, yay.
Just had to say that because we're live.
Yep. And I had to help her move. Now, I was a little upset, right? Because as you guys know, last weekend, I helped my other sister with essentially building a room. I helped my cousin frame up and build a subfloor and whatnot. So weekends are supposed to be fucking fun. They're not supposed to be work. Now, I will say my sister does work for a sheriff's office. And do you guys know what the Explorers program is?
It sounds like you get to do ride-alongs, but that's probably
It's like
wrong.
an ROTC for cops.
Oh, okay.
Oh, cool. Okay.
So anyway, I show up there, and first of all, my sister was like, "I didn't know you were coming," even though I clearly said we were coming. We'd just be there a little late. They hired.
Good job.
They hired 2 movers, which was fine because they slam packed the truck, and there was like six dudes there from ages 16 to 21.
Nice.
And they were part of the Sheriff's Office Explorers program.
It's like,
and
hey, you want to be ROTC for cops? Move my fucking shit.
Exactly. No. I laughed at that too. By the way, I was like, I'd pick something heavy up, and I'd look at the one kid, and I'd hand it to him. I'm like, "You're big here," and he would just take it. And he couldn't say shit. But yeah. So I mean, thankfully, it wasn't that big of a deal. It was an easy move. I still had to carry some heavy ass shit up and down stairs, but showed up there and it was fucking rock and roll. And I was like, sweet. So I do want to a little sidetrack complain real quick. You guys know, as just to go back a couple steps, I fixed my computer, right?
Right.
Fucking annoying, most annoying thing ever I've ever had to do in my life is try to buy computer parts in 2018.
Yeah.
I just want to put that out there. It's
fucking
horrible.
Bitminers ruined everything.
I could barely find motherboards for my socket type, even though it's not that old. I could everything is super ridiculously expensive. I need a graphics card. I wanted a slight upgrade, which I did end up getting a decent upgrade, but I had to spend way more than I needed to and had 3 fucking orders canceled because they went out of stock before they fucking shipped.
All I gotta say is at least they canceled your shit, because I remember it was like 4 episodes ago, I think, something like that. When I had my graphics card fiasco, where I ordered on Amazon, and then they were like, "Oh, the reason why it's not shipped to your house right now when it says it should be delivered today is because, well, it went out of stock 5 days before it was supposed to ship." And I was like, "Wow, you didn't like cancel it?" Maybe my feedback got them to cancel them because, oh my god, that's infuriating. So I feel your pain on that 100%.
I was fucking pissed. Like I ordered
understand your
I ordered a
frustration.
cheaper card from one site, right? And I was like, wow, this is a good deal. Went out of stock, order canceled. Found one on
Fucking
Amazon.
amazing.
Still the cheaper card, but a little more expensive than I wanted to spend on that level card, but whatever.
Right.
Boom, out of stock, didn't ship. I'm like, what the fuck? Then I find the 3 gig version of a really nice card. I'm like, you know what? It's more money than I wanted to spend, but I'm going to do it. Jumped on it anyway. This time, because it was Newegg, I paid the extra like $3 to guarantee quick packaging.
Right.
So this way they hurry up and package mine before they fucking put it in somebody else's box, you motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Anyway, calm down. Calm down.
Yeah, you got it. Relax. It's okay.
Calm. Okay. So, yeah. Most infuriating fucking thing ever. But thankfully, like I said, I stayed up late last night. I got my computer put back together. Been playing with it not very much because I had to go and help my sister move.
Nice.
A little disappointed. I should have PlayStation Remote Play open right now, playing PlayStation on my computer. Haven't even done that yet. So
gonna have to ask you not to do that during the show.
Yeah. Well, George's doing it right now.
I mean, probably. Honestly, looking at his face.
No, I don't have to do that. My PlayStation and my TV are right fucking there.
Yeah, but are you playing it though?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
A lot of times he is.
It
Audience.
Most of the time I am.
Yeah.
That's why I don't talk much.
That's why you don't hear him fucking talk, and why it sounds like he has no idea what's going on.
Like every now and then he does this here under his breath. Shit, I should have hit that.
Yeah.
Fuck,
stole my kill.
Exactly.
We're like,
I
stole
don't
what?
talk, and then you watch the live video, and I'm just like.
For those of you who can't see, he was looking completely to his right.
Yeah. So I guess, but all in all, honestly, and you know, kind of to wrap this all up real quick is I do very much so enjoy having the weekends off. I enjoy being closer to a normal person's schedule, but
overrated as fuck.
I feel you know, like everyone's like, oh, the weekends. I don't understand why the weekends is a thing. You know what I mean?
Well,
like,
let's
talk about that.
The thing that sucks about the weekends for me is one, there's a bunch of offices that have it, right? So you already have more people who are off on average on the weekend than other days. So everything is more crowded. Like if you want to go to Disney weekend,
sucks.
One of the busiest times to go.
Yeah.
If you want to go grocery shopping, weekend,
busy.
Everyone's at the fucking grocery store on the weekend. That's when you go. Like everything's more busy.
You know what's funny? Hold on. It used to be you can go, if your doctor even does it. It used to be you can go to Walmart at like 3 a.m. and shop and it would be guaranteed dead. That doesn't even happen on like a Saturday night late as fuck.
What's really awful,
especially not in fucking Orlando,
is you'll go at 3 a.m. Saturday night, and there's gonna be a fuck ton of people there, but they'll still only have the one line open.
Yeah, look at me. That's worse
even in the busiest time during the day, they'll have like 3. The fuck is up with that? Yeah, you have like 37 fucking wretched. I hate Walmart.
Walmart's pretty awful. But what bothers me the most about weekends off, especially in Florida, is there's a lot of people who, and this almost seems like it's counteracting like the previous argument. It's not, because there are more people who are off on the weekend. But a lot of my friends work the service industries. Like they work for Disney or they work for a restaurant or something similar, valet, stuff like that. And they will never have a weekend off.
We do, though. And like, you know, like you guys have weekends off you have a weekend day, right?
Yeah, I have one weekend day.
Which will always be a weekend day for you.
Yeah, guaranteed.
Right? But the reason that's a guarantee for you is now you have to work a stupid split shift.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Exactly.
And then Jordan, his trade-off is I think he has to work stupid early.
Stupid early and late. I work a
you have
day
a weirdo. You have
I open and close. Yeah.
Yep.
I hate those.
So like my job during the week is open 8 to 8 and I work 8 to 1 and then 5 to 8.
Or
so
like
dumb.
in my case, I'd have to be at my job for fucking 25 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
To be able to get the opportunity for a weekend off.
exactly.
Even one day.
Exactly. So, I mean, honestly, it seems to me that weekends are just becoming this thing that if you're in a certain type of job set, do you get it? And then it's kind of like being off on the weekends or not being off on the weekends puts you in a different class of people.
Yeah, 100%. And one of the things that I have to say about the weekends is the only people who benefit from weekends off, well, yeah, fuck you, are people with kids who can't afford like childcare or what have you for those weekend days where they needed to be there so they could be there with their kids all day.
Yeah. Well, if it wasn't for us having family to do it, it would suck. Like, I'd have to buy myself less little green vapes and more childcare.
Yeah. And it's one of those things where for some people they can't afford either of them. So it's just insane. And then the other group of people are the partiers, the ones who want to go out and party on Friday night, be hungover on Saturday, do it again Saturday night, and then have Sunday be the full recovery day where they drink nothing but Pedialyte and vomit, and then they're good to go for work on Monday. If you're not one of those people for either subset, then the weekends have no value, no actual legitimate value. Everything's just more difficult to get into. Doctor's appointments, like we were saying, even if they let you in for the doctor's appointment, it's a nightmare. No one wants to be there.
Not only that, but if you're lucky enough to be cursed with weekends off, right? And then let's say you have to do something during the middle of the week, then you have to try to request time off. You have to, you know what I mean? So, so not only do weekends suck because your sisters make you do things, but they suck
because you're available and they can plan around the fact that you have weekends off.
Yeah, we've created the weekend in society. And it's fucking bullshit. So
yeah, me having weekends off does not mean I am liable to do all your housework for you. Okay.
Well, like I said, it was an easy move with her, and the other thing, I was helping my cousin, and he did, most of the hard work. You know what I mean? So. But it's still up early, sweaty as fuck. I actually had to wash my hat today. That's how sweaty it got. So,
damn.
But yeah, guys, fuck the weekend. And I know that Jordan, you actually braved Disney, even though I purposely didn't go this weekend. But you did.
Ballsy move.
It was horrible. Yeah. I did not want to be there late too. Like, we're doing this pretty late because of me, because I was not home at the time that I intended. And oh man, it sucks on the fucking weekend. And we went to Magic Kingdom, which obviously busiest fucking yeah. And then if you try to leave Magic Kingdom anytime after the fireworks show, which apparently is at 8 now. It used to be 9. Is that 8 now?
Well, I think they changed when it is based on when it gets dark. Yeah. I actually think that they update the schedule so that way it's like the peak time to where it's perfectly dark so they can get it launched. Because the earlier they can get it done, the better, because some people can't stay late and they're sad they missed the fireworks. So as soon as it gets as dark enough as they need, they launch the fireworks.
That makes sense. But we were on the People Mover when it started.
Oh, the ferry?
No.
Or you're talking about I'm sorry.
It's Tomorrowland where you go.
Yeah. Right? Gotcha.
Bitch ass ride. I love it.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, if you try to leave Magic Kingdom anytime after that, you're fucked.
Oh yeah. Like, especially if you parked for Magic Kingdom.
There's so many fucking people leaving that they start to open like the side, like you're not in Pretty Disney, like you see trash cans.
Yep.
Yeah. Like they start opening up all the weird exits, and you're like, did I walk into a back alley? What happened?
So like, if you leave 8 or after, you're gonna be waiting 30, 40 minutes for that monorail
just to walk out,
just to get to the monorail.
Well, hold on. Pro tip: don't get on the monorail that brings you to the parking lot.
Yeah, no.
Get on the monorail that brings you to the hotel, and then get on the monorail that goes to the parking lot.
Well, that's the thing. From Magic Kingdom, you have two options.
Yes.
You
the
have
ferry or the monorail.
right. The monorail either goes to the parking lot or to Epcot.
No.
There,
No.
I was just
No.
there. There's only those
No,
two
no, no,
options.
no. There isn't. So
Yes, there is. I was literally just there.
I promise. I don't want to tell everybody on our recording. I'll show you.
Okay. If it, dude,
I'll show you the secret Floridian. Only
I
Floridians know.
I shit you not that you go to the other side of the fucking platform, right? Like the side, and it goes the opposite way. Before it goes to Epcot, it stops.
dude.
Doesn't it stop at like?
I didn't know that.
Which one is it?
The
Is it the
contemporary.
Dolphin?
It's
Oh, the contemporary. Okay.
yeah. It
Dude.
stops there.
That's fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
You should have told me that earlier.
I did. I'm sorry.
Because
Well,
both
for me-
lines to Epcot and to the parking lot were of equal length. We were at, like, when you get to Magic Kingdom, you have to go under that, like, train.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You get the street.
I
The
like
line
the train.
Monorail was at the train.
That's fucking insane, dude.
Yeah.
See, that's a weekend thing. And honestly, like, so joking, like Disney talk real quick. So I think you had something specific you wanted to talk about, but we actually got the passes with like the blackout dates and shit.
Me too.
And that's because we live in Florida and it's 1 billion degrees in June.
Yeah.
And fuck
You don't
you,
want to go
Disney.
anyway.
Like for real. I'm not even trying
Fuck
to be
Disney in June. Like
Yeah.
June,
July, and August.
Mm-hmm.
That's for
100%.
you.
And you know what? They don't want me to go those days. So all right.
I'm fine with that.
They definitely
Disney
don't want me to
kissed my
go
ass
because I will not have a problem just sitting there complaining about how fucking hot it is and why is it so hard to get somewhere with AC.
Yep.
And
Yeah, it's terrible.
They
But
have
yeah,
a hurricane beam. Why don't they
I-
have a climate change beam to where they can make
Agree.
it cooler in the park?
Well, because that'd be too obvious and people would know. But I like the ferry, but only
I
on
love the
slow
ferry.
days where you're not shoulder to shoulder. Because there's
Well, that's
something.
true too.
Listen, I know that it's not like 30-foot deep water, okay? And I know that it's Disney, so I'm sure that like mini submarines will start popping up out of nowhere with fucking lifeguards that swim out with Mickey ears on that don't get wet somehow. You see what I'm saying? Like that
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Oh,
But
100%.
but like something about being on the ferry, shoulder to shoulder to shoulder with everybody on that boat freaks me the fuck out.
Well, for me, I love the ferry just because there's a lot less. Like even on the super busy days and when it is shoulder to shoulder, there's not a line usually to get on the ferry. Like it's like perfectly
Well, it's a
whatever the
corral.
line is. Well, yeah, but
They
well, that's the
corral
thing.
you, and then
Yeah.
you move onto the boat as one corralled. And then everyone always makes the same joke because I do it too. Moo. Moo.
Yeah.
Oh,
Moo.
I love it when the ferry, like you said, on a slower day because you can run all around that fucking boat and it is so cool.
Yeah,
Like, a
it's
bunch of
big.
seating.
Hey, did you
it's
know?
multiple tiers. Like it's really cool.
I don't think I've
Did you
ever
know
been
that on the
there.
monorail.
You should.
Yeah, you should. Did you guys know that on the monorail, that up until that accident happened with the monorail a couple years ago,
Yeah.
that you used to be able to ask to sit with
Right
the
up front.
pilot?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
they actually had cards printed up for those who sat with the pilot, and it was an official. You were a co-pilot for the day.
And there wasn't
Card.
anything special about it. You just had to ask.
Yeah, you just
Really?
asked.
Because most people didn't know. Yeah. They don't do it anymore because,
That sucks.
accidents and such.
Yeah,
Person ruins it for
they don't
everyone.
want people distracted up there because that accident was fucking terrible.
No, yeah, it was.
It was.
It makes
insane.
it makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
That's cool though. That would have been nice to do.
We've talked about how no one dies at Disney, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I just wanted
We've
to make
talked,
sure
we've
that
talked about how
that-
no, and they essentially, you leave their premises before you're dead, even if you were dead already.
Yeah, you get reported
They
dead
won't
at a
announce
hospital
you
that's
dead.
associated with Disney. So even if you were like your brain was like splattered, you were still alive. You didn't know it, but you were still alive.
Yeah.
And then once you make it to the hospital, oh, look at all this brain matter that he's missing. This guy's dead. He died right now.
He died
in the
right
hospital.
now.
Yeah.
No, it's funny, like somebody's like, oh my God, I think he died at disc. And then he like grabs the back of his neck and falls over. And then it's like, dun, dun, and then it's a poorly drawn Mickey Mouse out in the trees
Oh.
holding a little dart gun. Oh boy, I told him.
You should've listened. I would have had to do it to him. Oh boy.
He's like that my favorite Bitmoji where he's just like barely peeking out of the bush.
Oh my god, you fuckers. All right, so I have to
Love that
admit something. because I'm a
Wait a
stuck anti-Bitmoji guy.
Is that like your porn name?
What?
Peeking out of the bush?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Okay.
You know what? All right, you can have that porn name. I'm not much of a bush guy, so I'll let you have it.
Apparently, it's coming back, Bryce.
Oh no, it is. Like if it's shapely, if they've done like if they trim it and like make it look nice, I'm all about it.
It's got to be presentable.
Yeah, it has to be
What
presentable.
what if presentable means
Professional.
braided in like cornrows?
No.
You know what? I'm open. I have an open mind. I'll give it a try, but as long as they're cleanly.
Okay.
I'd have to see it. But like business,
but not
casual.
dreadlocks.
I like business.
No matter
casual.
how
No, 'cause
clean they are, they never look clean.
Well, no. From what I understand, you can't even properly clean dreadlocks. So no.
No,
not
you
dreadlocks.
can't.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. So not dreadlocks, but cornrows or braids, sure.
These
that's
is
what you're into.
natural. I
I'll have
didn't
to see
make
it.
them.
I'm actually curious. Hold on.
If people do that,
Incognito, real quick.
oh, okay. Let me get on that incognito
That
status.
means Jordan's looking at porn. Anyway, continue.
Technically, but fuck. What was I talking about before we went on Bush?
I don't know. Jordan was telling us about how he got sick at Disney because of space AIDS.
Well, hold on. So Jordan, you told us that we didn't talk about it because we have this thing where we're like saving for the show.
Yeah.
We'll start on a conversation. We have a bad habit of just talking about stuff that would be great on the show, but we just talk about it anyway.
We swear we're funny usually.
Yeah, we're 100% funny all the time. All the time. You're welcome. But for Jordan, he was saying, yeah, I want to talk about how something happened at Disney, and I hate how rude people are. And nothing about what he's talked about with his trip to Disney has been about that yet. And I'm kind of feeling gypped.
Yeah, dude.
I'm gonna need you to tell me the dirt. What happened at Disney that made you?
Y'all need to Google image search cornrow pubes.
Oh,
you won't
this
get,
is a call.
You won't get any of it, but there's some funny shit on there, man.
All right,
It
this
makes
is a
no
call to
sense.
action to all of our lovely folks out there listening. All of our 5 people. Go ahead and look that up.
Well, you look that up while Jordan tells us about why he wanted to talk about Disney.
So, let me close that out.
Close all windows.
People are unbelievably fucking rude at Disney. It's supposed to be the happiest place on earth.
Lies.
And I have a good time. I enjoy Disney.
Yeah, of course you do.
But it would only be the happiest place on earth if I'm the only fucking person there. Because everybody else sucks.
You always have those awkward ass guests, like what Patrick was talking about last week with the lady who was yelling about there should be some sort of, they should let people know that you can't leave after a certain point because
in front of the sign.
In front of the sign, yeah. Like there's always those people who are just never satisfied or something's not good enough. And some of them do it just because they know that Disney is all about the experience and they'll like give them something for their bad experience, quote unquote.
I don't think they backed down to that lady though, but she was a real.
Oh no, not for her, because like, lady, it's right here. Like there's a limit to what we'll back down to for anyone. But it's one of those things where some people are in it just to try and get free shit, but some people just legitimately can't be happy. And no matter how good an experience, no matter how great the customer service is, because Disney's like the place. If you got Disney on your resume and you're going for a customer service job, you're like A-list, because the Disney college situation that they do where they train you to be customer service oriented is really in depth. It's very like culturally sensitive to where they're like, hey, you're going to meet a lot of people from different cultures. You need to point this way with the 5-finger point or the 2-finger point or whatever. Yeah, the 2-finger point. You have to do it this way because this means this in this culture, and you need to be sensitive to the different cultures and make it a good experience for absolutely everybody. Like to be that customer service minded is amazing. So you know that when someone has a bad experience at Disney, it's not because the customer service sucked. They'll say it is because the customer service sucked.
Yeah, but that's not.
I guarantee it's
Come
not.
on.
If the customer service sucked, the person would have been fired on the spot. And then the customer service, the experience would have been salvaged after with like all the good things in the world. Let's get you fast passes. Let's get you free pineapple.
You know what? Maybe that's. I never actually thought about it. Hold on. Maybe that's what they were doing. Maybe they got walked right to the front of the line. I don't know that for sure.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's possible.
Maybe that's a scam. They did it on
happened.
purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's very possible.
So what was your experience then? What do you mean somebody was rude? Did they like stand?
It's just everybody. Like, if you see me from a mile away coming,
Which
with
isn't
a
hard.
fucking stroller, it's true. I'm a big dude. Okay.
Yeah.
You see me walking like 100 fucking yards away in your direction with a stroller with a kid in it. Why in the hell at the last second are you going to step in front of me?
Dude, stepping in front of you or
open.
Anybody in an electric wheelchair thinks they could just do what the fuck they want. Like
Nope.
they're just stopped in the middle of a fucking 4-way walkthrough thing.
Yeah, it's garbage.
You know, people who just stop in the middle of you taking a picture between you and something you're taking a picture of.
Well, there's that, but there's the other side of that where you're taking a picture in the middle of a 4-way stop and you expect all 4 lanes of traffic to stop for you. So
if you're going to do that, you need to be quick. Like, you need to have your camera open already, motherfucker.
Yeah. Not only do you need to be quick, but most
we saw that.
You need to be off to the side, or you need to understand that that's not going to work.
Right at Main Street, as soon as we walked in, that was happening. And then they'll take a picture, and the person getting the picture taken of them and the person with the camera.
They're like, let me see it. Let me see it.
15 feet fucking apart.
Also, and this is an exception only for Magic Kingdom, in my opinion. However, do not give me a look because you think my kid is being too loud or my kid is bothering you while at Disney in the Magic Kingdom. Go fuck yourself, you old piece of shit.
Because let's face it, Disney's not made for you. It's made for the kids.
At least listen, at least Magic Kingdom, okay? Now, you know what? Animal Kingdom, maybe still sure, but that's a lot of everybody. Epcot, let's be honest, that's geared towards the adults, you know.
You can drink in every land.
There's a lot of stuff there for kids, but it's geared for adults chill time. Hollywood Studios, that's for the nerd, but it's still, you know, adults and kids, but you know what I mean.
Which I must say, I'm really sad that the Great Movie Ride no longer exists.
Yeah.
It hurts me deep.
I'm not.
I know you're not, because you're soulless and you don't like things. Fuck you. Fuck you.
You don't listen, you Stranger Things weirdo. You don't
that ride's fucking awful. Don't even try to defend that shit to me.
Okay, to be honest, I didn't like it, and I don't even really remember it.
It's garbage.
It's one of my favorite rides.
That's why. It's garbage.
Good. Now, I will say what I do like is the Imagination ride with Figment in Epcot.
My god, with the smells and all that shit.
But yeah, fuck people. They're rude as hell, especially at theme parks, man. Except for
when we were getting on the monorail to leave. You know how they corral you in there too, right?
Yeah.
They only let X amount of people in. You got to stay as far back as possible.
Yeah.
Wait for the gates to open and shit. So we got in relatively early. And so I parked the stroller right at the fucking gate because I'm getting in there first. I got a stroller.
Yeah.
This bitch and his wife come trying to nudge my wife out of the way to get in front of the gate in front of me.
Yo, fuck you.
Did you ram him with your kid? Because that's what I'd have done.
No, I left it parked there. And he kept like trying to inch his way slowly in front of us. And my wife was looking at me and she was, you know, she's fucking loud. She didn't give a shit. And she looks at me. She's like, this bitch thinks that he's going to get by me first. Like, loud as fuck right next to him. It was hilarious.
That's
he looked at me and I was like, tell him to fucking move. And I was looking at him.
You guys are funny. We've done the sitting in line, waiting to go somewhere, and somebody keeps slowly getting in front of you, and you have your stroller, so you just accidentally keep hitting them in the back of the shoe with the stroller. Like, oh, sorry, man, sorry. Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry. Me and my wife have cry laughed at that kind of shit. It's funny.
I haven't had to do that yet, but I know.
Now we have, I will say this, now that Chloe is out of the stroller and stuff, we're much more mobile. It's so much better, man. You're so much faster and whatnot. I'm so glad I don't have any little babies left and don't actually have another one coming on the way.
Soon to be brought in the world for...
Hey, Bryce, are you happy you don't have any really little babies or one on the way?
I'm happy I don't have any kids because let's be honest, like I get annoyed as shit at my cat, and like kids are way more annoying.
Yeah, but you know what? Kids in general, sure, but I'm just happy to be past the babies.
100%, 100%.
How about you, Jordan?
Like if I actually think if I want a kid, I actually think I might adopt, just because I want there to be a kid in my likeness. But let's be real, I'm kind of a shit human. So adopting and just giving them my means and my thoughts and my like my teachings, that's close enough for me. I'd be happy with that.
Pass along your browser history.
It's funny that you said, don't pass along your browser history. It's funny that you said you're just a shit human. Honestly, have you ever seen the meme that's and it's like they say they're blaming violence on video games and yada yada yada. Yet we used to burn people at the stake for being a witch. I'm just gonna go ahead and say all humans are shit or something like that.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Or I'm just gonna go ahead and say humans are just garbage.
The video games are what caused it. Humans 100% have always been that. Like, have you heard of some of the games? Like when you talk to your fucking grandpa, and they talk about some of the games they used to play and stuff like that. Some of them were literally like just put a kid in the center and beat the shit out of them, and you all take turns being in the center. Like that was a game to them.
You know what? How about we take a quick break and we'll take turns beating each other in the center.
Okay.
And we'll report back.
Sounds good. So we're gonna play Patrick in the middle.
Yeah. No. We'll be back.
Patrick in the middle. That's
Oh, I'm actually gonna.
I stopped my.
I'm stopping my audio. So when I stop it, I just stop or pause.
I hit stop, and then I just click at the end, like of my track where there's nothing, and then I'll hit record again. Yeah. And it'll start another one underneath it, and then when you export it, it puts it out as one.
It snaps it together. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So I stopped it. So we're making it easier.
Thank you, guys.
Also, if you're watching the video or you happen to be live, which I don't think
John's here.
Oh no shit! What's up, John?
Yeah, me and Jordan we brought up the chat and John was there, and John said I might be right about my car. So
I don't know that.
I don't either.
I'm making him look up cornrow pubes. Now I need to find out if it's a real thing because that was just really funny.
Because I found an image and it just said it's just like of the stereotypical like thought where it's like she has 2 6-shooters tattooed on her like hip, and it points down at her vagine, and it just says underneath it like in the inspirational quote style font, I have my pubes in cornrows.
There's an article called "How to Braid Your Pubes into a Festive Christmas Wreath."
Okay, we should. You know what? I want you to find that article, read it real quick on the break, and you're going to talk about that when we get back.
Yeah, that's going to be a break back. That'll be funny.
We need people in the world to know.
This is horrible.
I mean, we're spreading the good cheer.
Check this shit. Looking for an easy way to add a personal touch to your Christmas wreath this year? This is a super simple DIY project that's sure to become a holiday favorite. All you'll need is some glue, scissors, measuring tape, a flat iron, and a few decorations, and a big pile of your pubes, of course.
So wait, you're not braiding it on you. You're not making a Christmas wreath on you. You're just shaving your pubes off and turning it into a wreath?
Save that question for when he tells us about it later.
Okay. I'll save it.
That's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say anymore. Yeah, let me read this. There's 9 steps, so give me a few minutes.
Oh my god, this is a fucking process, my guy. John just saw that article. Oh my god, I need to know more about this. I think I'm gonna find a movie to tear apart. I don't know which one though.
Damn, I had one the other day too, and I wanted you to.
Was there something that you were gonna do this week?
Huh?
Was there something you were gonna do this week as far as movies or television?
Well, I was thinking about talking about Cinderella 3.
What's Cinderella 3?
the most batshit insane Disney sequel ever. It's basically Back to the Future meets like kind of Freaky Friday. It's basically just Back to the Future, Cinderella edition, which has some kind of weird.
You not tell me about it. That sounds like a really good idea, Bryce.
What movie? What's it called?
Cinderella 3.
Oh,
it was a direct-to-DVD sequel to the direct-to-DVD sequel to Cinderella. But it's actually a somewhat decent film with character development and shit. And like, just to give you an idea, like, let me relook it up on Rotten Tomatoes. I think it was like 75% or something, which is insane for one of these.
Hey, what current PC games should I borrow from the people who make it to try out before I might buy one?
Yes. God, I'd have to think about that for a little bit because I haven't seen anything too exciting for me personally. I'll look around. Have you played Resident Evil 7 yet?
No, but I haven't played any Resident Evil in a really long time.
Well, it's a completely different style. It's a first person for one. It's really fucking good for two. So
what is worth it. Ultra Street Fighter?
It's a Street Fighter game.
It must be Ultra.
Yeah. All the extra names they put on it just means, hey, you know how we could have released these characters in like a character pack? We're going to make you buy a whole new game for a full $40 to $50. Come on down.
What's the newest Assassin's Creed?
I don't even know anymore. I don't pay attention to Assassin's Creed anymore.
Unity?
2 is not the newest.
Is it Unity?
I think so, actually.
Starts with an S, I think.
Syndicate?
Yeah, there you go.
Mm. See, I stopped after Assassin's Creed 2. I loved the first one.
I stopped after about an hour of the first one.
It's a very grindy game, and what bothered me is even though the second one was super, like, it was a lot more polished than the first one, a bunch of the problems from the first one still existed in the second one. Really long, boring tailing sequences that no one gives a shit about.
Yeah.
Like certain cutscenes were completely unskippable for no reason. So if you failed at something, you have to rewatch that cutscene. Bullshit. Some of the like puzzle like the climbing wasn't all that great. Like the first one, it has its excuse because it was innovative. It was the first time something like this was done. All right, climbing can be a little frustrating, but it's something you get used to. Second one, I'm gonna need you to polish that up a little bit. You've had time to figure it out, and ever since then, they've just been cookie cuttering Assassin's Creed games. I don't give a shit about their story. I don't give a shit about what's going on in them. I have no reason to give a shit. And the gameplay is not innovative enough for me to care. So I can't get into the Assassin's Creeds anymore. I mean, they're fun games, especially some of the newer ones. The polish they do have is nice, especially if you haven't played through an Assassin's Creed game. By all means, any of them you're going to play, you're going to enjoy.
But I understand what you mean. And then they got to the point where they were releasing a new one every single year.
It wasn't even every single year. They were releasing two at one point.
One is going to be like a long-running game, and it's going to continue to be something they
like updated and supported.
So I'm curious to see if that alters like how the game.
It would have to. They would have to change the formula to make it more like Destiny. I would assume. To where you have like different missions each week and like high value targets and stuff because they've played with the idea of multiplayer to where you can assassinate each other or you all are after the same target and whoever gets to the target first wins and whoever kills the target first wins. So trying to do it fast but also not get caught and all that stuff.
What's the newest Civ game? Civilization 6?
Yeah, Civ 6. It's not as good as 5 though. Like,
no, have you played
I haven't gotten to play 6. I have it. I just haven't taken the time to download and play it yet because fucking Civ games, you need like a day to play one game.
Yeah, you do.
But everyone I've talked to who's been big Civilization people, they say 5 is better. But I can't say for sure. Maybe 6.
I played After Earth, and it was
After Earth. I hated.
Yeah, it was only okay.
Like it was cool. The idea behind it was cool, and I like that you could complete it from a game from Civ 5 into go straight into After Earth if you did the
Yeah.
science ending. I thought
Yeah.
that was like a nice touch to like connect them. But after that, like just the tech trees were useless. Like they need to do a lot of rebalancing for that to be fun for me, and they just haven't yet.
Let's see. I don't know. I'll have to look because there's so many games.
I'm not gonna
Yes,
read that article.
71% on Rotten Tomatoes.
What?
I'm not gonna read that article. It turned out to be stupid.
Oh, the article? Okay.
Yeah.
That makes me sad.
The Cinderella 3 movie has a 71% rating on Rotten Tomatoes. And that's the critic rating. So like I'm just saying, like that's unheard of for a direct to TV fucking sequel.
Oh, I did never play Rise of Tomb Raider.
Oh, that'd be interesting. I think you'd have fun with that. If you wanted, it's basically Katniss Everdeen Simulator.
Sweet.
Like if you ever wanted to be the girl from Hunger Games.
I'm in. I'm the girl from Hunger Games.
Yeah. You could be the girl on fire.
Yeah, well this girl is on fire. That's my singing voice. It's good, right?
Sorry.
Oh well, whatever.
I'll give you points.
Bryce, you ever seen the movie Be Cool?
Be Cool? Is that the one with the orange cat mascot?
No.
What's Be Cool then?
The John Travolta movie. Where he's
where he's a music executive?
Yeah.
Okay, I know what you're talking about. I haven't seen it, but someone told me to watch it to like fuck with it.
That's exactly what I was bringing it up. I love that movie because it's so outlandish and out there, and it is legitimately funny. But man, I would love to hear you rip that movie apart.
Okay, let me write it down.
That, and I don't know if you could. It's a good movie, and I love it too. But Training Day, I want to see what you.
You know what? I haven't watched it in a long time. I saw it when I was a wee lad, of but 14 years old.
When I was a wee lad.
I think Training Day would be very interesting because I'm sure there's all kinds of continuity errors in that film that I could just destroy. Actually, I did myself a disservice.
What?
I rewatched the Bourne movies, and I love them. I love the Bourne movies.
I've never seen any of them.
The Bourne Identity, the Bourne Supremacy. You had to have seen Bourne Ultimatum because you were still working there when they played it like 8 times at the place.
No, I never watched it.
Really?
I know it's been on. I've never watched it. I've never paid attention.
Okay. They're really cool movies. Like they're more actiony style, but there's always like a subplot that's relevant to the times, and like essentially, you know, I'm sure you've heard of what the basic premise of the movie is. It's an assassin who has amnesia.
Yeah.
And then like him trying to figure shit out and all that.
Of course.
But there were a few things that bothered me. The first movie was pretty solid, except for there was this one point where he has a handgun that he brought with him.
Yeah.
Some guys come into the room. He steals one of their guns, so he shoots one, shoots the other coming up the stairs, reloads, right? Kicks this guy's body, grabs the body while he's flying, perfectly headshots this guy while he's landing on the, like, while falling down, and it's like a spiral staircase. So the guy with the AK is like running up the staircase, and he goes falling and then shoots the guy with the AK while he's falling.
I mean, I don't see anything wrong with any of this.
Yeah, no, this is all basic science. You know, it's fine. He lands on the fat guy. He's not going to break anything. What bothers me is he reloads again. He fired one shot.
Interesting.
And then it shows him reloading.
Well, maybe he was such an expert, he knew that gun was empty now.
After the one
from
shot.
its weight.
He felt the weight. And
So he knew it was empty.
No. He put a fresh clip into his gun, the one he brought. That was the one he headshot the guy with. Then reloads again, puts another fresh clip into it, and then walks out the building.
Deleted scene. He emptied the clip.
Yeah, like as he's falling down, he's having a bunch of shots
Yep.
at the guy, and then the one perfectly hits him, and he's like, "Oh, I got him. Good job." Because like I can understand a type of logic behind it, where you always want to make sure your weapon's full, and like if you're in a moment where you can reload, definitely do reload.
I mean, I do that in Call of Duty and Destiny, so it seems legit.
Yeah, but that's the
it's
thing,
not
though.
the same though, because
There's a limited number of clips you're going to have on you. Like we have
Mhm.
200, 300, or infinite ammo. Or we're picking up constantly ammo off the ground. He had exactly what he brought with him, and he doesn't know if there's anyone else that's going to be coming. He doesn't know if he's going to have another shootout. I can't imagine him having more than 3 clips on him.
Exactly.
And that was his 3rd clip after one shot out of the 2nd one. I just feel that that's pretty wasteful. And like I feel like I wouldn't accept it. And it was just such a they showed it with such like pay attention to this that I just thought it was really fucking weird, you know?
Yeah. No, that does sound kind of stupid.
And then I watched the new Jason Bourne movie. That's just called Jason Bourne. It was a shit show.
It has one of my favorite scenes in it, and it's where he's fighting in the ring. No.
Oh, and he's like,
it's
and he's
Jason
just like
Bourne.
Yeah,
that's my favorite part. Where he's fighting in the ring. He sees he's getting his ass kicked, kinda. He's fighting,
and
but
he sees the girl. He's like, all right, I gotta stop the fight.
He's
Bam.
like, yeah, I'm done now. I like that shit. I think it's cool.
Because that was one of the things that I was just like, that was completely pointless. Was the first fight scene where it shows him in the car when he wakes up, and then he's out there, and they're all getting shirtless, and they're rapping, and it's this whole like 2-minute affair getting ready for the fight. And he just walks up to the other guy, punches him once, and then walks away. And then it shows him like hours later with a bag on his back, and it's just like, what was the point of all that buildup? Like, I get that it's to be like he's still a badass, that he can one-shot somebody, but at the same time, I'm like, it was egregious the amount of time they spent on that. They could have just showed it.
Really, it was, hey, let's have some of the movie watching what's his dick stretch and shit for fucking visual effects.
Yeah.
You know?
Lady porn.
Exactly, because that has to be in the movie too. So hey,
let me fill in the water bottle.
I was about to ask about coming back.
Well, go ahead and ask.
No, you said you're going to fill up your water bottle.
Well, all right.
Oh, I see a cat. I see the cat. I see the cat. I see the cat. There's the cat. Oh, it's gone. There it is again.
Jesus. It's changing.
Okay, I'm ready. I'm ready to listen.
Yeah.
Oh my god, now he wants to hang on? Oh my god, this is rough. What are we gonna do? Cat, what do you want? You want to say hi to John? John, this is Luna. She may not look it, but she's pleased to meet you. All right, that's enough. Lay down. All right. Why are we holding on though?
Waiting for Jordan because he said hold on.
I know, but I was asking Jordan because he still has his headphones on, so he should be able to.
So
I can hear you. I was changing the coil on my vape.
Okay,
I'm done now.
Jordan brings.
Why did we have to? Why did we not have to talk while you were doing that?
Because I was focusing. I wasn't going to be contributing.
Okay, so
we thought you were leaving the. Anyway, yeah, go ahead, Bryce. When we come back.
Well, it's me because I opened the show.
You introed, so you bring us back.
Yeah, so I bring us back.
Does anybody have a thing? I know you. Did you get it? Did you find a thing?
Well, I'm definitely gonna talk about the Cinderella 3.
Okay, beautiful. And Jordan, your thing did not pan out.
No, it didn't. It was
No,
stupid
it
according
ended
to
up being really stupid.
Okay.
Bryce was right. You cut it off and then just make a wreath out of it. It's stupid.
The Bryce is right.
I'm going to murder you.
Bryce Aroni.
You're both dead to me.
Night, John. Thanks for watching.
Night, John. Thanks for joining us.
Later, man.
We promise it won't be so late next time.
So, all right, let's do
rock
the
and roll.
thing.
Let me
Bring
get
us
ready.
back. I think we'll just do some hellos, and then you go into your Cinderella. And we already have like 40 minutes.
Hello. All right, I'm ready. I started the recording. Are we ready for finger bangs?
Started the recording.
I'm starting now. All right. I'm ready for finger bangs.
Let's do it.
3, 2,
two,
1, go.
Welcome back from what was surely the greatest break of your life.
Yeah.
We are happy to announce that I don't know. I think I have a brain tumor or something because it's one of those things where when I get obsessed about something, I get pretty obsessive, and I start like digging and twitching. And I found out that there was a direct to DVD sequel to the direct to DVD sequel of the movie Cinderella, which Cinderella is a pretty
wait. Cinderella, the kids movie, Cinderella.
Yeah, like the Disney classic Cinderella.
Okay.
Which Cinderella is a pretty like closed off story all on its own.
Oh, yeah, and then there was like a moment in like the early 2000s where there was like 5 different Cinderella movies that came out.
Yeah, like live action and
shit,
like
yep.
yeah. Oh yeah.
What though? Like what was the sequel?
The sequel was Cinderella 3, A Twist in Time. It's essentially, if I were to describe it, this came out in 2007. If I were to describe it, I would say it is Cinderella mashed, like awkward, like Frankenstein mashed with Back to the Future.
No.
Yes.
Huh?
And it's kind of terrifying to think about like how this is possible. Essentially, Cinderella and the Prince are super excited. They're on their 1-year anniversary and they're going to have a picnic. It's going to be great. Everything's perfect.
Okay.
And the evil stepmother, who in the classic Disney version gets to live, as does her stepsisters, in the original Grimm's fairy tale, they get their eyes pecked out by birds walking up and down the aisle. So
yeah, so the fact that they got to live is
already like, but hey, it opened it up for this sequel because essentially, the stepsisters they have to do the chores that Cinderella used to do, and they're like, fuck, now we have to work around the house because this bitch is like famous now. Fuck me. So one of them just fucks off, and the fairy godmother, who apparently just likes to just run around and not be with Cinderella all the time, she's just chilling in the forest. She accidentally drops her wand. One of the stepsisters.
Now that I have a problem with because first of all, magic wands, can they just be used by anybody?
Exactly.
And then also, if it can't be used by just anybody, and let's say it can be, you as the magical being who wields this, could you just like drop it or lose it?
Well, that's my whole thing about this. It's like, you have basically unlimited power, which I'll get more into in this film, where if you can transmogrify animals into people, you can transmogrify vegetables into fully functioning carts. And sure, there's like a time limit or whatever, but that was just for that one spell.
Well, no, there was a time limit on that spell for that scenario.
Right.
Unless, hold on, I'm pretty sure I've seen cartoons where her magic always resets at midnight, which would be a weird thing.
Well, in the canon universe, according to this film, there are some spells that don't. And they are like nuclear power, like nuke level spells. Like, you don't want to fuck with this. Like, this lady was very, like, blah about dropping what is essentially the most powerful weapon humanity's ever seen. Because she takes it to, the stepsister takes it to the mom. And the mom's just like, oh, So this is how she got famous. So this is how it happened. They had magic. So they used the wand to go back in time to the day the Grand Duke fitted the glass slipper on Cinderella. Because, you know, he has a weird thing where he can't recognize faces. He can only recognize feet. Ultimate foot fetishes.
Yeah.
And he doesn't even do that well. But so she uses the wand to go back in time with the stepsisters.
Hold on. How did she know how to go back in time?
I don't know.
She just was able to be like,
as soon as she had the wand, she could do whatever she wanted.
Maybe
and she chose to go back to time. And that's my thing. Is it might be a living creature that can read like the thoughts of the user and then make them into reality.
You have to attach your weird sex ponytail to it. Oh wait,
yeah.
Hold on, different movie. Sorry.
Oh, I was supposed to talk about Avatar too. I'll do a quick synopsis version of that after this because I've been obsessed with this whole idea of like sentient objects making our thoughts reality. That was my whole thing with the Jumanji before, is that it somehow read our thoughts or our expectations and then made them real. I think that the wand is the same thing, that it can, and that's why it's so user friendly. But with it being that way, why the fuck did the fairy godmother give someone the just not keep track of the most powerful object in the entire known universe? It creates time travel with no training, no practice. Not even like I've got fairy godmother blood in me. I'm a crazy fucking stepmother bitch who's just a terrible person. I just found this stick in the woods. Let's go back in time and change everything. So they go back in time, and she uses the wand to expand the slipper so it can fit Anastasia, the one of the sisters.
Just able to use magic without
just able to use it, no training.
Why not?
So the Grand Duke declares that she must be the girl that the prince is looking for. Cinderella shows up too late, and the stepmother destroys the other slipper. I don't know why she didn't just enlarge it, but she just flat out destroys the other slipper with magic that she somehow knows how to use now, because it was the only clue to the identity that she wasn't the girl.
Annoys me so far.
Yes, and me too. And so Cinderella decides to follow them and the stepsisters to the palace. And at first the prince is like, you know, she really isn't the girl I danced with. I can recognize faces apparently, and this bitch wasn't it. The stepmother used the wand to alter his memory, and he accepts Anastasia. So she can also alter thoughts with it. So this is an entity that can create time portals, can change the sizes of objects and transmogrify, and can alter realities for people to where they think things differently.
Well, apparently it doesn't have to be. It's not the fairy that is it's
the wand.
It's the wand.
And I want to know more about fairy godmother in general. That how did she get the wand? And is fairy godmother just a title she made up? Just like, you know what? I like this chick. I'm going to look out for her. I'm your fairy godmother. Is she even really a fae? Or is she a human who's just like, I got a stick. Let's go.
Yeah.
That's probably it.
And
she's got the stick, so she can make it happen.
I got a stick. Let's go.
I know, like legit. She alters his brain, and Cinderella poses as a maid to get into the room.
Hold on. Now does she know something's going on?
Yes.
Is
Cinderella went back in time too. Yes, and past versions of them don't exist. So it's like an alternate timeline where all the current people are brought back, but not everyone has their memories, but some people do. It doesn't make any sense to me. The excuse that I made.
Wait. I need you to stop. And you can keep going in a second.
Okay.
But that really bothers you, doesn't it?
It really bothers me.
And also, I'd like to remember, I just want to point out that this is something that I would expect to see Chloe Capri watching, not,
not you,
not Bryce Tato Chip. You know what I mean?
Listen, man, I told you when I get obsessed about something, I have to like analyze it. And this whole thought of sentient objects giving us our wishes and what they really mean, I've been looking for that. And I found it in this movie, and then I was really mad at the movie. And this is a movie that's actually rated pretty well, because there is a lot of character development, and I like how they made the prince not just like a blank piece of paper. and they made Cinderella not just like a poor downtrodden girl who suddenly got a chance. But essentially, she poses as a maid to get into the room to try and figure out what the hell's going on, and try and steal back the wand. And and the excuse that I made for her retaining her memory was that because she was attached to the fairy godmother, somehow that means that the wand can't do everything to her. That maybe it's somehow designed to not directly attack Cinderella. Because that's the other thing is, why the fuck, if you have the ability to change minds and change everything and transmortify, why wouldn't you just turn Cinderella into a pony? Change both the slippers and then make Anastasia the girl. And then you don't have to worry about anything.
Why would she do any of that? Take the wand,
take over the fucking kingdom.
Over the fucking kingdom, take over the world. You're now in charge. Everything.
You are God with this
because
wand.
She promised the Libyans and the hippie van a bomb. Duh.
Oh, you know what? You're right. She did. That's what she used the uranium to make the wand.
She needed the uranium. That's true. Exactly. I see how it. Actually, I was about to ask, how exactly does this mesh with Back to the Future? Thank you very much.
Well, essentially, it meshes with Back to the Future because it's more Back to the Future too. When Biff finds the Olmec and steals the car and fucks everything up, and Marty has to go to the future and then back to the past to try and fix everything.
Okay,
this is that.
And then he has to avoid himself. Like, was there in the past version of Cinderella in the past
to make things back to normal?
Yeah, to fix the timeline back to where she's with the prince.
So she's in the past,
but there's no past version of any of them.
They
just completely ignored any past version copies. Like, I don't understand that either.
So she should be there twofold.
She should be, but she's not.
Not
because
none
of them are.
So then this is the kind of time travel that you prefer over, because, like, for example, it can't be linear because otherwise she'd have to be there.
Right. This has to be a completely separate thing. I would think that the closest thing would be consciousness being sent back, but for some reason, some people retain their memories and others didn't. Don't ask me how that's possible, but
okay.
So
I assume she gets her gets the wand back somehow.
Actually,
kills everybody.
She's there. She catches her on the scene, trying to sneak into the house. Is captured by palace guards as intruders. And Cinderella is being dragged away by guards, and she briefly touches the prince's hand, and he begins to recognize her. But then the stepmother orders Cinderella be placed on the next ship out of the kingdom for exile. The mice.
Oh, because he'll remember the dance,
right? Which again,
okay. You know what? That's good storytelling. That's good storytelling for the sequel to a sequel, the straight to DVD sequel of the straight to DVD sequel of
Cinderella.
Of the
50-year-old movie. It's decent for what it is, but she has the god wand. Cinderella could have been poofed into any form she wanted. She could have turned her into a bench and had everyone sit on her. Like anything she wanted. Because she could do that. That would have been funny. But instead, she's just like, you're going to get exiled of the kingdom. So the mice, the sentient mice that only talk to Cinderella in the original films, apparently can talk to anyone, and they're magical too, without any magic. Fuck with that.
Well, magic.
So Bryce's reactions with that.
So the mice find the prince and they explain the whole story to him, and so he does this whole cool jump out the window, catch a banner, and slide down to escape the palace so he can catch up to the ship and stop them. It was this whole cool suddenly I'm an adventurer prince with assassin. It was literally Assassin's Creed.
Did he yell hardcore parkour first?
He didn't. He should have. Missed opportunity.
Hold on. Was it so Assassin's Creed that as he's falling, you hear and it's like the view from a bird or whatever?
I think there was a seagull that flew by.
Nice. Okay.
So that's close enough for me.
Seagull.
His is a seagull. What can I say? It makes sense. It makes sense. The harbor.
He rides off, intercepts the ship on the advice of mice, which already you're a human being who's talking to mice. Holy shit, these mice are telling you there's a magic wand.
Of course he's going to do it.
No, but that might be kind of normal in that universe. We don't really know that. Maybe every fucking buddy can talk to animals.
It's just that they're all assholes and they don't normally.
Yeah, or animals or maybe animals are usually assholes, or they're seen as second-class citizens.
Objectified.
Yeah, they're objectified.
It's true because we don't get to see that. We don't get to see that much. We just know that Cinderella specifically has a bond with animals, similar to how Snow White has a bond with animals. But the animals never talked to Snow White. In this one, they're sentient and can speak. But so, anyways, the prince brings Cinderella back to the palace and explains everything to the king and the Grand Duke. The king orders the stepmother to be arrested, but they escape using the wand because they literally have infinite time travel. Why not just go back before you were caught and try again?
Why not just turn everyone into a fucking puddle?
So many things you can do with this wand that they're not taking advantage of. This,
like, hello,
it drives me insane.
Viagra anymore?
For real. So they escape. Cinderella prepares for her wedding, and the stepmother appears with Anastasia, and she magically transformed Anastasia, the stepsister, into a doppelganger of Cinderella, meaning that she could change Cinderella into anyone else, so that the prince never would have recognized her to begin with.
Yeah.
Why are you waiting so long? Why are you waiting to only experiment?
Well, no, because they would have said when they touched hands that the magic of love. That's where this fucking shit would have lost me. Honestly, I would have had a really hard time watching this movie.
I mean, it was pretty painful for me. But so Lady Tremaine then transports Cinderella and the mice into the castle grounds, where they're taken to their deaths essentially in a twisted pumpkin carriage with literal Lucifer as the driver. Satan, actual Satan. He's called Lucifer.
So they're being sent to death.
Yeah, they're being sent to hell. But they managed to defeat Lucifer. Lucky them. And they escape. Also lucky. And they leave Lucifer stranded in the woods. Poor guy. How she got him. So that means that this wand is actually more powerful than God. Because this wand took Lucifer from hell and brought it to earth.
And got him lost in a fucking forest.
That is insane how powerful this wand is. Because the fact that Lucifer exists pretty much confirms that the Christian version of events in this universe are at least somewhat accurate. So that means there is a God and there is a Satan. And the God put the Satan in a place that he can never escape and he has to burn for eternity. No, I got a stick, bro. Come on out, bro. You're going to drive that carriage. Because I have the fucking wand. I'm more strong than you and God.
Well, yeah, but they've used this in many different other Jesus, somebody fire me. Many other stories though.
I agree. They bring Lucifer into a lot of things, but a lot of times it's more of a demon of Lucifer or like a heavily implied thing. Like this was just, I don't know. We can give a pass on that because I agree. They do use that trope a lot, but still, you made Lucifer do your bidding and be the bitch driving the car.
Yeah.
That's some power. So they escape. Cinderella races to the castle as the vows are about to be exchanged. At the last moment, though, the stepsister is just like, this is so fucked. I'm not even myself anymore. Everyone's just fucked up. She stops the wedding. She turns the prince down because she's just like, I can't do this. Like, I'm not who you think I am. And the stepmother gets so pissed that she reveals herself, like, the fuck are you doing? I did all this for you so we can get, like, all the power and such. And so...
That we already have, because we have this fucking wand.
We have this magic wand that does everything. And we could literally time travel to before you said that, and then just change the other sister who wants to get married into the doppelganger, and then you don't get changed. I can go back in time whenever I want. I have a fucking stick.
I have a stick.
I love that line.
So the king orders all of them to be arrested. She finally uses the wand offensively and fends off the guards, turning them all into animals and shit. But during the scuffle, the wand's magic is deflected. Some like the whole mirror thing. Yeah. And they are turned into toads. The stepmother and the stepsister who didn't get.
That also must mean that like magic is some type of light wave, I guess.
Yeah, it would, because that for it to be reflected means that it had to be the light.
It had to be a photon, right? Of some.
So the laws of this universe are so weird.
Accelerator annihilation beam.
There you go. Out of Holy shit! Good job.
Fuck you, Hadron Collider. I got a stick. After all this happened, she retrieves the wand, or Anastasia, the stepsister who had a change of conscience, she grabs the wand, turns herself back into her original form, and Cinderella restores the fairy godmother the power with the wand, and the fairy godmother is like, I can reverse the timeline, but Cinderella and the prince decline. They don't change the timeline back. Instead, they get married in that timeline, and they live happily ever after again.
Hold on. Didn't they have kids in the second one?
They were like, we can't get abortions because we're good Christian people. Let's not go back in time.
Let's undo it.
Well, this timeline's great. I love it.
Holy shit. Fucking bombshell.
Yo. I'm so glad you caught that, because I was going to bring that up, because it's so fucked up that they were like, no, we don't want to go back to the original timeline where they had fucking kids, bro. They abandoned those kids to an alternate timeline, because if it is separate timelines and not just like the whole universe being changed, those kids are now parentless.
Yep.
Forever.
Wow.
Bye, bitch.
Or even a scenario where, like, let's say, you're an asshole.
Yeah, you're just straight up an asshole. Oh, and during the credit scene, there was like not an after credit scene, but like a mid credits thing where it showed that the stepmother and the other sister were turned back to their original selves, but now they're dressed up as maids and they have to work in the castle. And I'm like, they literally like did like treason against the crown.
It would be locked up, or definitely.
No, they should have been executed.
Yeah,
especially for the laws of the time.
executed.
You do anything against the crown, your fucking head gets chopped off by the guillotine.
Which is funny, though, you know, that those stories, they for the most part tell those kinds of truths, you know, like for example, they showed you that with them being brought off, you know, by Satan or whatever, that they're going to be,
right.
they
were going to be killed.
So they're not afraid to kind of put that stuff.
Not only that, but the Hunchback of Notre Dame, like they show burnings, they show all kinds of shit. There's an entire song about masturbation. Like that movie shows hangings. It shows all kinds of shit that was like, this is how shit went down back then. But lo and behold, they couldn't show it in the direct to DVD sequel to the direct to DVD sequel of the movie.
The direct to DVD sequel of the direct to DVD sequel of the movie.
And it turned into
I love that shit.
Yeah. So they're just maids and they're like, oh no, it's like our personal hell.
Yeah.
I'm just like, you fucking bitches.
Which her personal hell though would be cleaning and being poor.
Being Cinderella, essentially.
But what would have been better is if they'd have just kicked her out onto the fucking nasty ass fucking feces infested fucking streets in some rags and told go live.
Oh yeah.
You know, like it's so funny. Like
they're naked and do the whole shame.
But to change gears a little bit, like a lot of I've heard people say, "Oh man, I'd love to go back to the time of, you know, castles and knights and yada yada yada," and I'm like, "Ew, that's gross." People pooped in the road.
not only that, but like my whole thing about that time period is the only people that would actually want to go back then would be male, because every female who would go back then, if they had modern day knowledge, they're a witch, burn at the stake immediately if they knew anything. Because with the men, they could be like, you know, prophets or you know, men of power like Merlin. You know, like you would be taken in as an advisor or as a seer. As a female, you're a witch burner. Like that's just how that shit went down. Like time travel is pretty much only fun for guys.
That's true.
I'm okay with that because I'm a dude. So.
Well, yeah.
So you know how people are like, if you went back in time far enough with like a smartphone or something, that you'd be seen as a god. But I mean, really only until your lithium battery dies, right?
Not only until your lithium battery dies, but there's no self-perception, so there's no internet as well. And
so you can't do shit unless you saved it all.
You're just like, look at my little screen. Oh, here's pictures. Like, all right.
Pretty much.
And then how do you explain what you just showed to someone? Like the idea of trying to explain a cell phone, because people always say, I'll go back in time and I'll invent the smartphone. All right, explain how a smartphone works to me right now.
Yeah, you couldn't.
They don't know how it works. They don't know how lithium ion.
Well, no, honestly, you couldn't. You could go back. Like that shit was already happening. What they should do is go back in time and invest in a company that did whatever. Because the bottom line is as soon as the parts were able to be made small enough, they were making PDAs Smartphones were out well before there were iPhones. People just don't seem to know that.
It's just the iPhone was the first mainstream, like not a specialty item. It's something that any consumer could buy if they had $1,000 lying around to throw at a phone.
Well, yeah, there was they
did it well.
Nobody advertised, but back before Windows Phone ruined Microsoft devices,
Right.
And there
Windows
was
Mobile was the best.
Yeah, there was Windows Mobile, which was essentially miniature Microsoft Windows on your phone. Now, granted, there were some pretty big problems with that, and it was limited. And this is before apps and stuff, which is really why they tried to change, but they did it poorly.
Very poorly.
But Windows Mobile was the jam, and there were guys with these Dell 6-inch screens running full versions of Tomb Raider. Emulators on these phones, you know what I mean? Stuff that we have problems doing on our smartphones now. These things were doing. So, they were available. You could just buy them but they were way expensive. But they weren't everywhere. Apple did the marketing, so now those exist. But
it had the brand behind it, because the thing about Apple is the iPod was such a phenomenal hit.
It was.
The only competitor was Zune, and
they were out too late. The poor Zune.
Yeah,
and they were expensive.
The people who had Zunes, the people I know who had Zunes, fucking loved them. They loved them way more than any iPod.
And I miss my Zune.
Because the Zune was pretty cool. I liked it, but it's one of those things where they couldn't compete, and Apple had such a name for itself that once it was like, we're going to give you an iPod that's also a phone. Also, you can go on the internet sometimes. And everyone was like, what, blah, 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 blah.
You can go on
I don't have to
carry
super
sometimes.
Yeah,
only
like
super sometimes. Yeah.
You have AT&T, because that's the only carrier that's going to have us, by the way. We're exclusive.
But all I'm saying is, you're right. You could not go back in time with a smartphone and invent the smartphone. Yeah. Actually, there's some movies I've seen and TV shows that I've seen where time traveler goes back in time and dies in some kind of accident. Normal guy or entrepreneur finds this technology, and then within 10 years, somehow backwards engineers it to invent the newest cool thing or whatever. No fucking way.
Right. Like, not just some random dude, because the science isn't on the level necessary to understand it. There's laws of physics that explain how it works. Like, we've invented certain things that we still don't understand how they work on accident.
Yeah. We do stuff all the time on accident now, and then we can reproduce it. So we're like, okay, this is how this works. All right.
Yeah.
But what is it that we're doing? We don't know.
Yeah. And it's one of those things where there's like entire committees of scientists and multiple experiments done with peer-reviewed studies. That one dude isn't going to be able to get the information, and isn't going to be able to keep it accurate enough for it to be useful.
They're all fucking dinglings. I don't know. I think that we might be rambling at this point.
Well, I mean, as soon as you start... Oh, wait. Because I said last week, I forgot that I said last week I was going to talk about Avatar, and I was going to do it during the episode, but I didn't. We're going to hold Avatar?
Well, yeah, okay. We'll hold Avatar. Yeah.
We'll just cock block them a little longer.
Listen, eventually we're going to talk about weird sex ponytails, okay?
Yeah, and the implications of what they can really do.
Yeah, don't worry. This is perfectly normal. Now fly me places. So...
Sounds nice.
But, yeah, guys...
I'm going to say we nailed it.
Yeah, I agree. I think we fucking nailed it.
Plug us, Jordan.
Should know by now. I'm not even going to say it. No, I'm just kidding.
You got to do it every time.
You did that once before, and we got real mad. So
yeah.
No, I know. You guys fucking suck. That's why.
You're the guy that plugs things.
I know. I do plug things. Yeah.
I finger bang, you plug.
I'm just here for the show.
That's very true. Patrick does nothing. Do you realize that? Bryce has a job. I have a job. I do the audio. Bryce does the picture. Patrick's just bald.
I make things happen. Like this live video, I'm the one that figured all this out.
You didn't start it, though.
Yeah, I did.
Bryce hit the button today.
Well, that's because I signed in with the wrong account. Fuck you. Anyway, you know what? End the show. You guys are assholes.
Whatever.
All right, so I guess I'll plug.
No, I'll do it.
Okay.
Facebook, of course, first and foremost, PB, the letter NJ podcast.
Remember the
You can
name.
Find us on Twitter at PBnJ Podcast. Email us pbnjpodcast@gmail.com. And of course, our fancy new website, pbnjpodcast.podbean.com.
Also, to all of our iTunes listeners, you'll be
that.
excited to actually be listening to this.
Yes,
because we finally fixed
iTunes. So
hey, by the way, we realized it wasn't working. Oops.
Yeah.
Thanks for the feedback, guys.
5 weeks later.
Thanks for letting us know.
And you know what? Hold on. For real, like we know people are listening because we see that people listen, and then we see people hitting one source, and we're like, "How's this happening?" So, like, if all of a sudden you guys don't see an episode for 1 week, okay, maybe something happened. 2 weeks, shoot somebody an email because I promise you, we publish every single week. So
yeah, every
something's
single
not
week.
there.
It went a month before we realized, hey, there's no iTunes.
Yeah.
So now you guys have an excellent 5-episode selection to blitz through at your convenience. So congratulations. That's our late gift to you.
Yeah. Congratulations.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas, and we'll see you next week.
See you next week. Nailed it.
Nailed it. All right. Get this shit.
Export.
I'm gonna go ahead and say that we did nail it.
We did. That was a good show for not being.
We did. We had, like we said, we'll have a rocky little bit, but then we'll hit our stride, and we did. We're pretty hot.
With that hotness,
you're looking pretty good.
Oh.
I'm gonna do a little noisy thing here.
Do so.
Like that.
Let me export this audio, Daddy. Daddy, please. I'm exporting the audio.
And I'm not getting very much flavor out of it.
What?
I changed my
Did you prime it?
Yeah, did you prime it? Did you drip into it a little bit?
In the middle?
Like into the cotton on the inside?
Just on the sides, like little circle holes.
Well, you can hit the cotton on the inside too.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I mean, don't
That's usually what I do.
Fill it, but yeah, it helps to prime.
What I do is, when you hit that last little drip out of the dropper, and it's just
drop out of the dripper.
Yeah.
If you just take that and just put a little bit of pressure and just kind of slide it around, the cotton will pull it out of the dropper, so you don't actually pour too much to where it drips down, and you get the little spit in your throat where it burns. You won't get that because it'll just go straight into the cotton. That's how I do my inner coil for the priming.
Okay.
What am I looking for? Oh, what should the picture be? What are we thinking?
I don't know. I have no idea. I don't even know what we're going to call this thing.
We talked a lot about Disney, so I feel like it should be Disney related.
Well, we just named a Disney related one last week.
Yeah.
We have a lot of Disney stuff. Yeah, wait, no. Last week we named it something Disney.
Yeah.
What did we name it?
Something about Disney.
It's episode 47. Was it episode 47?
Yeah, last week was 46.
Nice.
Because we named it. I could have swore there was a pun.
Hang on, I'll pull it right now.
Yeah, pull it up.
Okay, episodes. I am Disney World.
I am Disney World.
Oh, because of I'm Poppy.
Yeah. I'm thinking. Well, we won't say Disney. What I'm saying is for the theme for the picture, not the name of the episode. Because we talked a lot about the park and the ins and outs of escaping the park.
So Patrick, you were saying
Escape from Tom Sawyer Island instead of Escape from LA or Escape from New York.
Oh, I gotta install Lame.
LAME.
Oh yeah.
Why?
To export as MP3.
Oh, that's right. It's not native to Audacity. I forgot. I forgot the cool shit we did to make this work.
Yeah, a lot of it.
There's a recommended installer for Windows. We're just going to go ahead and go with that.
That would be my recommendation as well. I love that John comes back. Even though we haven't had a live show on here for 2 weeks, as soon as we came on, he was there. That's really cool.
He must get notifications.
Yeah, no, he does. I think I'm gonna order a mic on Amazon because my mic isn't working, and I can't keep doing the webcam. Like the audio quality bothers me.
All right, I am exporting.
I think I might look into like a.
We should end the live show, by the way.
Oh yeah, I should do that. So if anyone's still watching, just me, I'm pretty sure. Thank you for watching. Enjoy the behind the scenes. Enjoy the sleepy cat over my shoulder.
Yeah. Enjoy the extra several minutes there because the guy in charge forgot to turn it off.
That's me about